Hello people, good morning, Juanito Mendoza here. Hola gente del mundo mundial, de aquí Juanito Mendoza. Hello Leute, it's Johan Karl, guten Morgen, guten Abend, was ist das? As you can see on the title, this will be a very different video because it's going to be on English only, so I can broadcast to all the people in the world, or the majority of it. And it's called The Demise of Xbox and Why It's Doom, a rant and an essay about this fucking piece of shit that's called Xbox. Here we go. First of all, we need a backstory. You know, back in the day, the very first quality console I ever owned was the PSP and the Revolution Soccer 2009 bundle. It came with it. I remember playing it a lot and all of it. I remember a lot of games we were for it, but I sold them. And I never really cared about, the big Xbox and the PlayStation 2. As incredible as it sounds, as amazing as it sounds, unbelievably, the Xbox, this door that you see here, was giant at the end, had by far far better games than it has today. Honestly, it was a very good interactive stuff. It was not as good as the PlayStation 2, I remember, because I never owned any of them. But I remember the PlayStation 2 still won, but the Xbox was a very cool thing back in the day, I remember. I never played. But my very first console was the PSP, and I used to play it a lot here. As I was telling you, my PSP died and I changed it for PSP 3000. I think it was the final model before the go. And the only surviving game I ever own, and that is still today in my hands, is the Turbo de Parasite. The graphics were amazing. But once I ever understood, or the very first thing I did, once I knew that my mother was going to gift me Xbox 360 on Christmas of 2010, was running to the store and I bought Skate 3, and it was one of the most amazing things ever. I remember back in the day the 360 were interesting. It was a solid console despite the error that came with the red ring of that. I never got it because the console I owned was this one, the Xbox 360, and it was the slim model or the pro version something. It came in 2010, so it didn't have that error anymore, so I remember I survived this thing. Anyways, I used to be happy back when my Xbox 360 and my PSP, those were the only console I ever owned back in 2010, but suddenly everything changed. Back in 2013, I remember that I switched to PS3, I think it was. Yeah. I decided to buy a PlayStation 3 and I sold my Xbox 360, my Xbox 360, sorry, and my fucking games just for one game. Oh Jesus, you remember this one? Yeah, 2014, the key choice came, and the Last of Us future of console was done. I made my choice, and I remember going to the store to buy the Last of Us just for this game because it was only exclusive. It was only playable on PlayStation back in the day. You couldn't play it nowhere else. So this was the solid reason why I did it. But let's go. Back when the 360 was important, I remember those years. Do you remember back when Xbox was interesting and at least have this wheel? At least they were trying. I do too. Well, we see here the two generation of Xbox. The very first one, which was more competitive as far as I know. The 360, which came with the red ring of death, which is there. And we got Alex in Wise, which was in use. And it was a very cool advert. I put it because I love her. And then we got this one that I think is the console I own. Yeah, it was the 360, but the 360 Super Ultra model or whatever. But you can see here that we have this console hardware sales graphic in this chart. You can see that PlayStation 2 is far better. But Xbox was in second place, and it was still a very good thing because it had power and it had a bit of interesting titles like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Jade Empire, and I think Ninja Gaiden was too. And just because I never bought or purchased anything like that, the thing that I can tell you is that I remember the good old days of Gears of War. I remember the good old days of The Witcher 2, Condemned, Left 4 Dead, and all. Here we have Donkey. And well, video game Donkey back in the day said, Xbox is the console you own because your friends have Xbox, and that opened my eyes. Yes, indeed. I cannot tell you how disappointing this was, but in the end, Xbox during the 360 era at least were trying to improve. They were trying to make things different, to make things unique, just like this. Even though they can be played on PC, so they are not real exclusives, but it was not as popular as it's today, so I don't know. And then we come to the end, it's night, Xbox One, a colossal failure. 2013, the shitstorm happened. Oh, Jesus Christ. You may think that the 360 era was interesting, but there was a correction. It was approaching to the demise, and they couldn't even do it right. Okay, what would the future bring? Well, fucking shit. Xbox decided to keep its own grave with a lot of problems, disgusting features nobody asked for, internet connection, DRM. Only you could only play one game, and you cannot lend it to your friends. You can't do anything because everything was so restrictive. They had batteries, AA batteries still, and the Kinect was mandatory back in the day. It was just a sad joke. I remember this like it was yesterday, and I remember a lot of YouTubers like this guy or like Boogie who made his parody. Also, there was Dross, the Venezuelan YouTuber, and Denis Dayo script. I remember his videos, and those were a little bit over the top, but in the end they were correct. So I decided to not be stupid and just purchase the PlayStation 4. It was obvious they caved their own grave. And I remember all the memes, all as I say, the fucking Kinect, they Don Matrix said something stupid like if you didn't have internet connection, you needed to buy the Xbox 360 because we have a product for all the people who doesn't have internet connection. It's called the Xbox 360. That was disgusting. I remember those memes; they were amazing. I remember back in the day. But let's say, well, why the Xbox sucks? You may think maybe because all of these restrictive things, not really, because Phil Spencer once he came to the control of Xbox decided to destroy everything like this. Thanks God. But the real reason why Xbox sucks, where do I even begin? Well, I think the most important feature that you have to make, or the most interesting and the most, the most obvious, is the fact that they have zero games. They have no exclusive games at all. Everything is on PC, so it's not exclusive. And no, if you can play it on PC, not mandatory has to be Windows. What about Steam Deck? Steam Deck is not an Xbox, and it doesn't have Windows, it's Linux. So, all the people who play video games on the iOS, what about them? They doesn't count or what? Yeah, Microsoft could be a little bit more popular, yes, can be more popular, but in the end, it's not exclusive at all. You get that, fanboys? Okay. As I was saying, everything was even today runs better on PlayStation than on fucking Xbox. I remember the Xbox One run on 900p or 720p, whereas the PlayStation 4 had 1080p. I don't know why, and you can see that before. But well, we'll take that in a moment. Well, there wasn't any single exclusive that was interesting enough for me, not franchises, anything. With the Xbox One, the mediocrity of this brand reached top. The games were disappointing. We got Rise with microtransactions, we got Dead Rising 3, State of Decay, Forza, Gears, Halo. All of those were forgettable games, Crackdown 3 or Battletoads. Anyone remember those games? No one. The only decent games that I have played of them were Sunset Overdrive and Quantum Break. But there were games that nobody cared about and they died, like Bleeding Edge, Crossfire X, and Second Extinction, which will die. Oh, Jesus, it was so disappointing and stupid. The results were a colossal failure, and the PlayStation 4 took the advantage, obviously. So, after this thing, they created Gamepass, so they could damage control their stupidity. And well, if you are a poor person and you don't have to spend a lot of money on video games, you could, go to Game Pass is one of the best options, but everything is there, and Game Pass has 90% of it are games that I have already played on PlayStation in a far better platform, or I just do not care about because there are games nobody care about, nobody ever listened to. So okay. I remember that even now in 2023, 2023, the CEO, I think, lost his wage or his, yeah, because it was tied to the profitable Game Pass grown radio. It didn't work. I remember that. But well, As I can tell you, Xbox sucks because it has no real ambition, it has no innovation, they have no will, they have neither interest nor talent to create good games. They do not know how to make them. I don't know why. Because look at this. Do you remember this fucking thing? This is a meme that is also pretty reliable and it's amazing. It's amazing, but at the same time it's sad. Can you remember how many times Phil Spencer has said, "Wait to the next E3 and this will be the Xbox year and this year is for Xbox, Xbox blah blah blah. Don't worry, 2019 will be an amazing game year." Or I don't know, wait until 2020. Fucking shit. What the hell? Sorry. Wait and wait and wait. And even though they create or they decide to release a few games, all of them sucks. And they have disappointing and underwhelming results. Just like this. Halo 5, nobody remembers that. Crackdown 3, looks like trash. Sunset Overdrive, okay, that's a good one. Rise, Battletoads, Crimson Dragon. Do you remember Crimson Dragon? Nobody remembers that. And you know why? Crimson Dragon, Rise, and all of other games decided to have microtransactions on it, even though they were exclusives to the fucking Xbox, which not real exclusivity, but okay. You remember that? Jesus Christ. As I was telling you, this is just like this meme, like wait till next year, next E3, blah blah blah. Phil Spencer always says that. Always. The only game that is a little bit decent was Starfield, but it was not that good because the fucking Starfield went and decided to stay out of the fucking goties. One would have guessed that after all the disappointing and terrible reception for the stupid brick, Microsoft at least could change something and make things better. But they didn't, because even now, the Xbox Series X is far beyond PlayStation, and it didn't have this fucking reception when it launched. It didn't have anything the Xbox One did back in the day because it was stupid. And even then, nope, there's still no winning. And they won't. Alright? By the way, the Xbox One, I don't know why, but can only install one fucking game at a time, whereas the PS4 can install or update 3 at the same time. Why does that happen? An Xbox takes fucking forever. If anybody here in the comments has an Xbox Series X, can you tell me how slow is it? Can you install more than one game at a time? Because I'm curious. I won't buy the fucking console, but I'm curious about it. Oh, also speaking about Xbox, let's not forget the free games behind the paywall fiasco. Yeah, I remember there was a time when you couldn't play Fortnite, you couldn't play any free game, like for example Overwatch 2, because you needed to pay the fucking gold. I don't know why. Oh Jesus. It's very sad to see the constant mediocrity of this generation doom the future of Xbox. Even now, even though despite not having all of those dumb restrictions in 2013, they are still listening. And the console does not rise and never will due to incompetence. And never will due to incompetence. Damaged reputation and mediocrity. Alright? That's the reason. That's the thing that I was saying about the CEO. This is my honest reaction. Then we got finally Microsoft decided to remove the Xbox Live Gold for the paywall, that for the free to pay games. That's something interesting. That's interesting. Well, for the people who doesn't speak Spanish, is that Xbox Gamepass will rise its prices, and the other one is Gamepass does not reach its milestones by third year in a row, in a fucking row. As I was telling you, no real ambition, no real innovation, nor will. And there were a lot of fanboys and a lot of people who were telling us that Microsoft bought Activision and bought Bethesda, and with those in their pocket, they would be better. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Honestly. You remember Rare? Do you remember Rare? What happened to them? Obsidian, all of those. No. As far as I know, and based on everything that has been happening since the very beginning of Xbox, they will ruin it. They are going to ruin Activision Blizzard more than is it already, and they will ruin Bethesda because Bethesda sucks. That's the reason why. Okay, let's pass to the other thing, and it's the fact that Switch and PlayStation always win, regardless. Oh Jesus, you can see all of these games which were supposed to be exclusives. Well, not anymore because Spider-Man and which one was this one? Uncharted and God of War are now playable. Oh, Ratchet and Clank 2 and Horizon, sorry. All of those that I have mentioned are playable on PC now. But the reason I see, or the most interesting thing, the most reliable thing that I can see about these games is the fact of the quality. Alright? As I said before, even with all these dumb things removed, the Xbox is still in third place and always will be. Okay? Something that has been proven is the fact that it doesn't matter how many studios and how much effort they put in the games, PlayStation and Nintendo are far better. Not only in hardware, because you put innovation into their consoles. One is portable, and the other had this 3D audio, and the triggers were amazing, all of that, blah blah blah. The touchpad and all of it. Whereas Xbox has just the same interface, the same user interface, and it has the same controller with still AA batteries. Jesus Christ, come on. Anyways, the games, not only the hardware, but also the games are far better. They run better, or at least on PlayStation, and on Nintendo I don't care, but on PlayStation they run better. The 360 were back in the 360 era. They were milking their franchises like Forza and Gears of War with Judgment, but even Judgment was better than fucking Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5. Nobody remember those two games. They even recognize more the characters of Judgment. I can tell you that. Jesus Christ. Whereas Nintendo and Sony, regardless of the year, people still recognize and still want to play things like Gran Turismo, which doesn't count because it's a racing game. What about God of War, reboot sequel, Bloodborne things? There's a lot of people who are still playing Zelda, new Mario's, and there is a reason for that. Quality and love. They are made with quality, passion, and love. Right? It's just like, I don't know, Microsoft and Xbox doesn't care anymore about their stupid games. They are just putting there so they can, I don't know, take money from you. And then we go. Not enough, Microsoft. It's not enough. Start doing something. I don't know. In Spanish, we have a term that's called reingeniería de empresas. But well, anyways, it's like to recreate your whole brand since zero, from zero to hero, so you can detect what were you failing and why, and then fix it. But they have no patience, and they have no patience. They have no time. They have no will. I have no idea why, but Jesus Christ. Oh, and also the fake exclusives. You remember when Super Lucky Tales was announced, or Blade Witch, and The Medium, Stalker, Callisto Protocol, not really, but this is not here because it's a fake exclusive. It's for another reason. The Ascent, Scorn, and Bright Memory Infinite. All of them were supposed to be Xbox exclusives, which there were not even exclusives because they were on PC. They were also on PlayStation. And for example, it has been proven that the Callisto Protocol and Ghostwire Tokyo run better on the fucking PlayStation 5. Wasn't supposed to be wasn't your console supposed to be the most powerful console in the world? What happened to them? Because if you have the most powerful console, you give us something like the Ascent, you give us something like, for example, Halo Infinite, which looked like a fucking Wii game? Really? Jesus Christ. Ah, Jesus. I don't know. It's so frustrating because even though I hate Xbox, I need them to do better because we need free competition in the market. If they just continue with their mediocrity, PlayStation and Nintendo won't do anything at all because they don't need to do anything. They don't need it. Oh, Jesus Christ. They have no talent. Jesus Christ, Microsoft, please do something, please. I'm not very sure whether you're gonna watch this video, and I do not care, but I can tell you, please do something, please. Then we go to the delusional fanboys and how to destroy studios, all of it. Uh, every console has its fanboys. A lot of them are delusional, a lot of them not. But I don't know. Nintendo has an outdated system, has shitty graphics, and it's also for me, at least for me, very childish and family friendly. I don't give a damn about Nintendo, but I can tell you that their games are made with love, with passion, and that's the reason why they are so successful. PlayStation is the same, but a little bit more hardcore, and it has heart, so that's the reason why they are amazing too, and they are successful. Sony and Nintendo have exclusive games, which are done with love and passion. That's the reason why their consoles have this value on it. Their games are amazing pieces of art. They are like, around 9 or 10 masterpieces. Most of the times there are a few exceptions, like for example the Oda, or for example, I don't know, Bayonetta maybe, I don't know. Never played it. Oh, Jesus Christ. The future of Xbox is terrible because now they are only relying on digital stuff, and they are only relying on the Gamepass because they don't have anything to compete with all of them. You cannot put Halo Infinite side by side with God of War Ragnarok, with Horizon Forbidden West, even with the fucking Mario Wonder. No. Mario Wonder is far better. And that is just sad. Alright? The people like this, well, I'm not sure about Boogie or Dross, but the other ones are delusional and they are trying always to defend, and they are in denial. They cannot see the reality or something. I don't know why, but I don't know. They are just like Spencer when they are frustrated because their console is shit and they have to lie. They only say lies, lies, and lies. Xbox is always and always be on their place and will never recover. Never. And I need them to do so. Not because I am part of the Xbox company, no, but because we need competition. I already said that. Oh, then we move to this one. The dark future for Xbox and gaming in general. Oh, Jesus. The future is dark, not only for games, but for this useless powerful brick. No power inside, by the way, but it's worse than we thought. Not only due to the fact that the Xbox Series X has been a disappointing piece of shit with no power and with the same spectrum of the One, the Xbox One, not the One, right? Which was already less powerful and worse. Xbox is focusing on digital only, rental services, and mediocrity. Searching, looking for how to capitalize or monetize the last simple corner of a video game. Just buying studios to overmilk them or ruin them because of their stupid decisions and incompetence. The only reason Xbox exists today is because of Game Pass, because if that wasn't for it, they would have been done long ago. I don't know why. Oh, Jesus. There were a lot of people who were telling, sorry, that once Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty will be forever on Xbox. That's a lie, because I have said this before. Call of Duty is a very well-selling franchise. It's a very damaged one, yes. Damaged reputation, yes. But it still sells very well. And it sells better on PlayStation. And making it exclusive to the worst-selling console, the one nobody wants, that would be a danger to them. So, I don't want to support a company which doesn't and won't care about physical copies, that you cannot resell, that you cannot do anything, because you don't know, you now won't own anything, alright? And then the destruction of console wars, I don't know why, if it's just me, because this is sensitive as hell, I don't know why, but people are deciding to make this thing clear, I don't know why. Uh, it was far funnier back in the day because now you cannot go into any social network and say something about these pieces of plastic without having anything jumping at your chin. Jesus Christ, they want to choke you, they want to, I don't know. It's just so lame. Back in the day, it was not as toxic as it is today. So I don't know, but in the end, you see this thing, right? PlayStation has sold far better on Telecan, North America. Oh, the European Union also. In Japan, Nintendo is still the king, and Xbox is shit. The same thing happened here, and the same with this chart. You can see PlayStation 5 is always in first place. The competition, at first I know, is only between Nintendo and PlayStation. Xbox sucks. And here we have a lot more proofs. We got 80% of Modern Warfare 3 physical or some were on PlayStation 5 and 4. Console sales are down 30% in the worst financial results for Xbox. Forza Motorsport is just disappointing. Then we got PlayStation 5 has sold almost twice as much as Xbox Series X. Yeah, I know it. And the fucking thing that is, well, if you don't speak Spanish, Starfield is out of the GOTYs, or Game of the Year. Xbox has more than 13 years without a Best Game nomination. You see, Xbox just doesn't care anymore about making anything from quality. Then we move to the conclusions, which I lost my papers, so I can tell you that Microsoft has money, yes. Xbox has money, yes. But they don't have neither passion nor talent. They do not know how to create good games, quality games. They are not focusing on something interesting. They are not interested in giving us good experiences. They are not interested in giving us quality content. Not at all. Not even the Xbox girl can say this. PlayStation and Nintendo. I am not from Nintendo Studio. My girlfriend has Nintendo, so that's the reason why. But Sony and Nintendo are the ones we need to focus on. Sony and Nintendo are where the quality games are. Sony and Nintendo are the ones who are willing to give us experiences, good quality games, and interesting features. That's where the future is moving. We need to move forward, not backwards, all right? So I can tell you it like Xbox, you need to do better. You need to do better, not only because you are, well, a disgusting break nobody cares about, just like James Sterling said, but also because we need competition. And if you still continue with this mediocrity era that you have, and that you have already had with the Xbox One, this is going to be the same story all over again, and it won't save you. We need more than the fucking Gears of War. We need more than Forza. We need more than Halo. Please start doing good quality games. Please. You acquired Bethesda. You acquired Activision. Either you're winning or not, that's up to you. But we need quality games. Because for me, at least for now, and maybe, I don't know whether forever, but at least for now, I stick with PlayStation 4 and I will purchase my PlayStation 5. And that's it. Xbox has lost my support since 2013. And there's more over a decade of disappointing. It's more of a decade of disgusting practices. It's more than a decade ago of mediocrity. I'm still with PlayStation. Yeah. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias por ver. Suscríbanse, comenten, den like. If you are going to comment, please do it in a very polite way, because I don't want anyone to insult. I don't want anyone to be racist or anything. I don't care. But please, if you are going to give my opinion, or your opinion, sorry, do it politely, okay? Thank you. Thank you for watching. Luego nos vemos. Ahí se ven. Se cuidan. Adiós, amigos.